Well, so you lucky people, the privileged people you see here, living it up on the South Shore, while they're living it up on the South Shore, we're dealing with lots of problems again in the middle of the island with crime. And the first thing that we're going to talk about, obviously, this video, we're going to be calling out South Shore 12 because they barely covered these incidents, particularly the breaking news that I'm actually going to get to first before we even get to this. The breaking news is that we've had some kind of incident at Roosevelt Field. Some people are saying it's a shooting. Some people are saying it was a fight. And I have to rely completely on social media. You see, people were saying there were shots. Thankfully, we are alive. I don't think it was shots. I think it was a fight. People were throwing chairs, and it may have sounded like shots. But the latest from Laura Uhl that we have right now, fight broke out at local mall in Garden City. This happened 3 hours ago. We have nothing from South Shore 12. You're going to see in a few minutes what they covered tonight. Gearing to you-know-who, as always. But fight broke out at the local mall in Garden City. The NCPD reported a fight broke out at the local mall, and this at the food court involving two different groups. The ruckus started around 6:30. Heavy police activity at the mall. EMS is attending to the injured. One part of the mall has been cleared. Several witnesses told cops one of them had a weapon, but not confirmed. Police described the suspects as male, blacks, and then they are now on the search for them. K9 is working the scene. Ongoing investigation. I don't think this is a picture from what happened. It doesn't look like, but we do have images from Roosevelt Field here that were taken of the mall, the stores being locked down. And this is what goes on in the middle of the island. K9 unit is there. See, the stores are closing. They close all the stores. They have a procedure that they close the gates, stores locked, whenever there's some kind of incident. This is all we have. What's happening at Roosevelt Field Mall? Okay, this happened also apparently as well. Unbelievable. What just happened at Roosevelt Field? Roosevelt Field fight happened right at Chick-fil-A. It's 10 feet away from the gun watching the fight happen. So I saw somebody grab the gun and just start sprinting toward JCPenney. Definitely weren't any shots. So there was a gun, but there were no shots fired right now. That's all the information we have. But this is exactly what we have. And once again, South Shore 12 is completely oblivious. What are they covering? Massapequa again. This happened in East Massapequa, not the nice part of Massapequa, but still it was close enough to Massapequa, and we all know how super important those people are in Massapequa, so of course they're going to be all over it, while the rest of us are completely forgotten. It's unbelievable. Even Newsday hasn't covered this yet. Well, I'm going to put Roosevelt Field in here and see if anything is being covered about this. Times Now, that's all. That's all. So we have Times Now, apparently. This is another, I don't know what kind of site this is, but it says, a fight and shooting reports surface. Some claim there was a stampede in the mall, so there was panic. So this is an article here. And again, where's the TV? Where's the freaking media? We are tired of being forgotten here in the middle of the island. It's unbelievable. They really are. This is a dead zone. Nobody cares about this area. And it's all part of the plans. What happened at Roosevelt Field in New York? Fight and shooting report surface. So they say in parentheses. So it says witnesses reported a commotion and heavy police activity at Roosevelt Field Mall in Uniondale, New York. Some claim the shooting had occurred, triggering a stampede-like situation. Others suggested it was merely a fight in the food court with no shots fired. Some witnesses shared photos taken outside the mall showing ambulances and police vehicles on the scene. Witnesses reported a commotion and heavy police activity at Roosevelt Field Mall in Uniondale. So there are no official release. Heard by a friend who was at Roosevelt Field that shots were fired. There was a fight in the food court, and it wasn't shots. So we're getting conflicting information here. Here's some photos of ambulances outside the mall. All stores in the mall have been shut down. So people are, this is conditioning people to say, hey, this is a dangerous area. We don't want to come here anymore. Let's go to the South Shore instead where it's nice and safe. And that's exactly what's going on. So that's all the information I have for you. But let's get to the other story that South Shore 12 barely covered. A robbery, a gunpoint robbery of a taxi driver on Old Country Road. This was yesterday. at 9:10 p.m. in Westbury by the Samanea Mall. South Shore 12 barely covered that, as you will see in a moment. According to detectives, a 72-year-old male victim, while operating a taxi, was dropping off 3 male defendants at 1504 Old Country Road. When they reached their destination, one of the defendants displayed what appeared to be a firearm and removed U.S. currency from the victim's pocket. The males then fled the scene on foot. Responding officers conducted an investigation, and the defendants, age 15, 13, and 13, were located nearby. Just teenagers. They're probably gangbangers. And I bet they're illegals, too. They were taken into custody without incident. An imitation firearm was recovered from one of the defendants. The 15-year-old, now, of course, there are no names being listed here. The 15-year-old defendant is charged with robbery, first degree, and Title 90 Mask Transparency Act, I guess because he had a mask on. This is what we have in Nassau County. He was arraigned on Friday, December 27th, 2024, at First District Court in Hempstead. One 13-year-old defendant is charged with robbery, first degree, and menacing, second degree, and will be arraigned on Friday, December 27, 2024, First District Court in Hempstead. And a second 13-year-old defendant is charged with unlawful possession of a weapon by a person under the age of 16 and will be arraigned at family court. So now let's show you what the South Shore 12 covered today, because they certainly were giving us the Brave was saying we don't even exist here in the middle of the island. They were all over the South Shore, and we were just completely forgotten. As usual, South Shore 12 barely covered any of this.
Now on News 12, exclusive new information
Shore,
on the murder of a woman in Massapequa as police search for her killer.
Of course, because it happened near Massapequa, so they're going to be all over it.
Because they just want money. Congestion pricing is almost here, and now it seems surcharges could be added on certain days.
Yep, just another part of the plan.
As showers arrive overnight and make way for a wet end to 2024 for this weekend. I'll have your New Year's Eve outlook as well in just a few minutes.
I couldn't stop crying, of course. I felt like it was a true Christmas miracle.
And an exclusive update on the Suffolk father who was in need of a heart transplant. But first, we have an exclusive update tonight on the Christmas Eve murder of
all about the South Shore. They don't care about us in the middle of the island.
Where police found her. And News 12's Kevin Beasy joins us from Massapequa with that new information. Kevin.
Yeah, and Antoinette, when that murder first happened, it was unclear if the victim was attacked on this property or if someone brought her here from a different location. Well, now sources have told News 12 that she was, in fact, stabbed in an upstairs apartment, and they say that's also where she was found by police.
But because it happened near
Massapequa, it's very tragic that it happened up the block from my house, you know?
Neighbors in Massapequa feeling uneasy tonight after learning the victim in the Christmas Eve murder was stabbed multiple times inside this building on Old Sunrise Highway. Sources tell News 12
I don't even
she
need
was
to
found
play
in an
this.
apartment on the second floor.
I think that's very
Remote
sad.
control is not responding, but it's just we're completely forgotten. Just look at all the time it gets. Look at all the time it gets.
Search for his missing daughter is nearing its third week. Frank Gervasi's 14-year-old daughter, Emma Ray, was last seen on December 9th.
It's just all about the South Shore. Just like we're completely forgotten here. Completely forgotten.
Driver in Westbury.
Meanwhile, they barely covered this.
A 15-year-old and two 13-year-olds.
They barely covered this. They don't care about the middle of the island.
Driver in Westbury. Police say it happened Thursday night
outside
the
they send a
Samanea
reporter?
Mall.
No.
They say one of the teens displayed what looked like a gun.
Completely
then
forgotten.
Cash from a 72-year-old man's pocket. The three ran off but were arrested nearby. Police say one of the suspects was in possession of a fake gun. And new tonight, an alleged robbery at Dunkin' Donuts in Oceanside. Police say this is the guy who did it. They tell us that he took merchandise from the Lawson Boulevard store just before 10 this morning. Police say the guy dropped the stuff after two of them followed him outside. They say he got away on a train headed westbound. A Selden teen is in critical condition tonight after police say he was hit by a car while riding his bike.
We don't care.
Abel Bonilla was hit just before 10
Thursday
night as he crossed Middle Country Road near Marshall Drive. Bonilla was taken to the hospital, and police say the driver was not injured and stayed at the scene. Well, congestion pricing is slated to start in 9 days, and the MTA says it has the right to tack on a surcharge to the tolls when city traffic is at its heaviest. News 12, John Dowdy.
Of course, they spent time covering that.
It's a money grab. It's just another tax. That's all it is.
Get ready to pay even more and head into the city. Once congestion pricing starts as planned on January 5th, the MTA could tack on another 25% for gridlock alert days.
That's not right either. Because they just want money. They just money.
Where are they interviewing those people? Gee, I wonder where.
Pay a minimum of $9 to drive in Manhattan, south of 60th Street. That fee would start at $11.25 on gridlock alert.
Businesses here on the island worry the most.
It's going to hurt.
That looks like the South Shore again.
Going to the customers. The
Yep.
customers are not happy to pay more money. Nobody ever is. So it makes it more.
It looks like the South Shore
Many small
again.
businesses worry about how to keep customer prices down as supply costs go up.
You can just tack that on, and from there, that cost just unfortunately flows over to the customer.
Bayview
So,
Florist.
again,
I'm not sure where that is. We'll have to...
Your everyday citizen.
Governor Hochul's office told us in a statement, quote, "We have spoken to the MTA and made it clear, under no circumstances
She says that
will
they're
I
not
allow
gonna
this
allow it.
discretionary 25% surcharge on gridlock days to be used."
I don't think there's anything we can do about it. Unfortunately.
In Massapequa Park, I'm John.
Massapequa
Downing.
Park!
All right.
Of course! I mean, it's so
Well, the MTA
obvious,
says
man.
It has the authority to tack on the surcharge, but added that it is the city transportation department which decides gridlock alert days. Well, if you're getting a ride this New Year's Eve, it's important to know
Of course.
who is
I mean, it's so
driving.
obvious who they
That's
geared
what
it,
the
man.
Long Island Limousine Association is
So obvious, man. Limousine Association. My gosh. So there you go. It's all about, of course, a Tesla at Rockville Center. Rockville Center was doing well. He was busy on Christmas Eve, too. It's a civilization. Where I live is not civilization. It's becoming a ghetto wasteland. All right? So it's all part of the plan, of course. We all know that, and it's just a matter of time before this is going to be considered my area. This is not Long Island. Nope. You know where I'm going to wind up. It's just a matter of time because things are getting really dangerous out there. And I don't know if they're going to get any better or not. But if they don't, you know where it's going to be for me. Because, I'm not allowed to live with the privileged people on the South Shore. They just like, shut up and go live in New Jersey, John. We priced you out.